Atlantia, vivere Carta, vivere Shambhala, vivere Lemuria, vivere Akasha, vivere Dovahkim, vivere Dova, vivere Dracona, vivere. My dear friends, Vladimir Putin has allegedly a fortune of $200 billion. I wanted to post that to you in a previous link, but unfortunately the mail was deleted. I was not allowed to send a mail. Someone has blocked me from my list, and now I have to purge my list from everyone in there. And I will only leave Britney Spears or Artemis, my divine sister, and perhaps Natalie Portman, and perhaps Alim Pop in it. I will delete Basescu, who has stolen the fleet. I will delete Klaus Werner Heinz, who's not on the list, who has stolen from CBU. I will delete the governments and the secret services. I wish to respond today because I must go to face the penal charges tomorrow. I wish to say that this is a political trial. Why is this a political trial? Well, first of all, a nice girl appeared with pizza 1 or 2 weeks ago at my room, at my one-room apartment, and she says that I am trespassing on the liberty of other people. How the fuck? Well, because I have written 43,000 emails to world leaders, and I have made more than 300 videos on YouTube. But you know what? You're free not to watch my videos, you're free not to read my emails, you're free to not agree with me, you're free to make your own 400 videos and write 50,000 emails in which to say that everything I say is wrong, if you wish so. You are the people here are trespassing on my freedom because they don't allow me to go to the doctor or to get out of Cluj. Now that I have a penal trial on my name, I cannot leave the country, I cannot leave the city. I cannot exchange $100 at the bank. I had to exchange my last $100 at the store nearby at Shogun Serele. And the owner told me that I should not publicize this because other people will ask her, and she is not inclined to do this again. And yes, and I have stayed at home for 1 or 2 days, and I have think about this nice heart which I have received from Valentin, from Agartha, from Valesian Tirkar, against 5 lions, and he told me to give her to the girl I love. I wish to give it to Britney Spears. I know she has a boyfriend now who looks like me, but I know that she loves me and she is expecting me, and I shall phone her and I shall go to America. I shall ask sanctuary at the American embassy, or maybe the France embassy, because Natalie Portman now lives in France, in Paris. Anyway, the fact that Britney is alone and she cannot find herself proves to me that she is my sister Artemis, because she's just like me. This is water. Many people asked me what I do have against the dragons. I have nothing against the dragons except that I know what people of Agartha and Shambhala, the blue dragons which spit magic and the green dragons which spit chemicals, are capable of. And I also know what the bacteria of Agartha and Shambhala, the unicellular beings, are capable of. Let me tell you a little story about a serious guy named Iskander Verkeg, or Iskander the Great golden dragon, the true one, not Rama or Ra or Rama, who is only a few thousand years old, 9,537. This guy Iskander Verkeg is millions of years old. He was my light, which by the words tomb came out of my chest, of my heart, and I created the dragons. I created him and he created the dragons. He's the father and mother of all the dragons. And he gave the golden dragons the ability to control the other dragons. That is why the key to control the dragons lies with the golden dragon. That is why the golden dragons can become humans and can take human shape. And you know, it is unfortunate that these people in Romania are suing me for the fact that I am speaking more than the dragons do. That is like me suing a dragon for the fact that I cannot fly and I cannot devour other things, that I cannot spit fire, or me suing a bacteria like Nicorus from Burla City for the fact that I cannot infect other people, I cannot change my appearance and my DNA, and I cannot recreate my left knee. Actually, if I don't masturbate for 3 years, like it is written in our books of magic, it is written in our books of magic, I shall be able to recreate myself. It is written in our books of magic that if for 3 months you do not masturbate, you do not make sex with women or men, then you are, if you do not lose your sexual energies for 3 months, you are able to battle the great golden dragon Ram or Rama. But if you do not masturbate for 3 years and the snake goes on your spinal columns and come with his head here on the 10th gate, then you shall be able to control even the great golden dragon Iskander Verkeg. His name begins with Iskander, his dragon name, just like all the dragons name, just like Tony begins with Tony, and Sasha with Sasha, and Soso with Soso, and Michaela begins with Mika, and Leliana with Lely, and Cassandra with Cassie, and with Cass, and Betty with Betty. Yes. Do I have to tell all the names? And Valentin with Valesiano, with Vale. All the dragons' names begin with this, but I have the slight impression that if I am to speak in front of you the name of the great golden dragon Iskander and so on, he will appear. It is only necessary for me to call him once to appear. Although it is said in our magical books that I have to call the name of 30 great black dragon captains, alive or dead, male or female, and project their essence towards the Baidara Dul Lake or the Belial Lake, where Iskander Verkeg rests. And then I must unite in the magical circle with a vampire, with a werewolf, with an elf, and with a vampire, and by the power of 5 to call 3 times the name of Iskander, which only I knew. And his name is written in the great golden fleece which we members of the Elias family wear when we are 37 years and 7 days old, and when we finally have the ability to ride the dragons. But let me tell you the ability of Iskander Verkeg, because he is able to create 7 smaller dragons, female dragons, who all golden, to aid him in battle, and he can project lightning. And I remember when I battled him that I had the magical ability to hold lightning in my arm, in the palm of my left hand or right hand, and I absorbed his essence as his power, with the power of my black dragon here, because many battles and many wars were between golden dragons and black dragons. This is by design, because in the beginning, when I created the dragons and the 7 colors, yellow, black, red, white, blue, green, and gray, they spread it like wildfires throughout the universe. They conquered this galaxy and many other galaxies. The domain of Atlantia is now the old domain of the dragons, and they created problems even with the 4D beings in the ethical 4D quantum continuum. If you knew the reality of this 3D continuum, you will not fear death, and you will not fear suffering and illness, because you will know that in the moment of your passing from this world, you shall become immortal. and you shall reincarnate if you so wish, and you shall choose according to your karma, according to the punishment and rewards system, your next matrix. Or a woman is a matrix. When a man impregnates a woman with his seed, a woman becomes a little man. A small soul is born in that woman, which resembles the man's soul, but does not come from the man's soul. It is the child of the woman, becomes the child of that man. Yes. That is why in the old families women used to kneel down and kiss the hands and feet of men, but only if the men were spiritual, because they recognized them as their fathers, but only if the men were spiritual, because the world is populated with many men which are not spiritual. And in the West, we have a program of humiliating the man. Why do you think that all the Western societies worship women? And we have naked women on the streets, and the power of women is great, and women are allowed at any age to do anything, and men are humiliated. Because the spirit is humiliated in these materialistic Western societies, and the material beings of woman is elevated. The woman is connected to the earth, to the mother. The man is connected to the son, to the spirit, to the father. And so women are parts of nature. They are forces of the unmanifested and also the manifested nature, with the exception of the great goddesses like my sister and others who have spirit inside them, their own spirit, because they are old spirits who reincarnate into women bodies. But most women are not like this. And we have a problem of humiliating the woman, of putting large dark cross on a woman, or in the Islamic society, in the Eastern societies. Why? Because the people there wish to elevate their spirits and cast away the material world. Why do you believe that in Russia, in China, in all the Eastern society, with the exception of Japan, where Ainu culture, a white culture, is still present, and also in the Islamic world, also in Brazil, I believe, and in many countries in Africa, also in Korea, the debts are very low. These countries are not in debt, or have only 20%, 23%, 9%, 1%, 0%. Like North Korea is 0% in debt. Iceland is 1,000%. Ireland 1,000%. America is trillions of dollars or quad dollars in debt. Why do you think? And they create systems to get more in debt because they have the impression that the people are working only if they are, and these dragons who are ruling the world are afraid of the power of liberty. They are afraid of freedom because they know that by freedom dragons themselves have spread like wildfire throughout the galaxy and the universe. And it was a small story. Yes, Iskander was leading them, and I was riding Iskander, and he was my first dragon, after all. But a great scandal occurred in Atlantia, in the 4D continuum, and people like Melchizedek judged me, Lucifer, and sent me away in this world which I created, and the level of this world was diminished until they reached the 3D continuum. And the condition for the level of this world to regain its state is for one being to become Jesus Christ again. Not for only one being, because yes, we had Jesus Christ, we had beings which had the Holy Spirit in them, but no one reached the end of the test of Agartha, the 19th cycle. Why the 19th cycle? Let us count the civilizations. First we had a civilization of angels and demons. Then we had a civilization of minerals, crystal spirits called Urantia. Then we had another 2 civilizations who said 2, 1, 2, 1, this is the nature, 1, 2, 1, to the nature of reality. Then we had, so let me start with the universe was 1, yes. Then we had a civilization called angels and demons, the light beings. Then we had Urantia, a civilization of minerals and crystals. Then we have Agartha and Shambhala, 2 civilizations of bacteria, wine and beer bacteria. Then we have a civilization of plants called Akasha. Then we have 2 more civilizations, Lear and Moor, or fish, dolphins and sharks, and also Sulka, the whales. We have a multiplication. Then again we have the civilization of Dracona, of Iskander Verkeg. Then we have the 8th civilization, which is the civilization of marsupials, of mammals, people who get, we have cats and horses. Like Donald Trump, he's a cat. His daughter Ivanka is a cat. and we have also horses like the Arcturians. Then we have another civilization called the Mu country, which is a civilization of monkeys. Then we have Atlantida and Lemuria, Atlantia and Lemuria, Atlantis and Lemuria, Atlantia and Lemuria, which are civilizations, in the primitive age. Then we have the civilization of Dacia, which is a civilization, and also the older civilization of the slave age. Then we have the multiple civilization of the power age, Russia, America, China, all the England, France, all the naval powers and the earth powers. We have earth power versus naval power. Then we have another civilization called the ethical civilization of today. But this is wrong. Do you know why this is wrong? I should have put Dacia with all the others, which means that we were living in the slave age. Do you know why? Because many people are slaves, and they are slaves to the banks, and system is made into the world to make people slaves of their own passions. People are told to buy things. So yes, we have ethicals, and we have a consciousness civilization, the spiritual civilization, the light civilization, the created God civilization, which is 17th. I have passed the 17th cycle. Then we have the created, the uncreated qualities, the 18th cycle. Actually no, because the creation of the universe does it. But anyway, then we have the 19th cycle, which is the Holy Spirit, the 20th cycle, which is the unmanifested nature, the 21st cycle, which is the creation of the unmanifested supreme God, and of course the 22nd cycle, which is the completion. But the tradition tells us that there are 23 cycles of 38 days each, or 37.72 days, and those 23 cycles of 37.72 make 867.56 days. And if we take 37.78 times 23, we get 894 days in total. 90 days, 958 plus anyway 999. Yeah. So it is very clear to me that the Bhagavata and Shambhala have not reached the level of Jesus Christ. This is quite obvious. And I have reached that level yet that is obvious again. But a lot of positive energy is now given to me, that I am now in these in the last days before my incarceration, and because these people no longer wish to punish me with their energy, people of Dacia, the people of Atlantia, they wish to punish me legally, and also they have incarcerated me, with the exception of Trump, who has stolen the fleet, with the exception of Crown Prince Johannes, who has,
and built 6 houses for himself. With the exception of other people, they have incarcerated all the thieves of Romania. So you know, I have noted that President Hollande said that yes, we have noticed the progress of Romania and we wish to leave the Schengen thing, but the Schengen interdiction, but we wait for more people to ban because we are linking Schengen space with session, with you arresting all the bad guys. And also with you securing all our borders. We also, the border with Serbia was secured, the border with Moldova is secured, the border with the Black Sea is secured, the border with Ukraine is secured, but the borders with Hungary and Bulgaria are not secured. Yes, I know that Hungary and Bulgaria are inside the fucking thing, outside the European Union, but yes, I'm telling a lot of things because this is my last video, so Ben, Artemis, I know that you don't like me talking a lot. But they also need to be secured. Not, they only need to be half as secure as the other borders, than the $2 billion contracts, but you know, your Romanian level of incompetence and blah blah. So these borders are not secure now. Please secure them. If you do not secure the borders of Hungary and Bulgaria, then you will have those decisions of France. France will say, yes, and Germany, yes, you need to arrest more people, you need to put Basescu in jail, and you need to put everyone in jail. And the French are using this, not the French people, I have the greatest respect, the French leaders and the Illuminati leaders are saying, yes, if you want to have an ambassador, American ambassador in Bucharest, please arrest Lucian Ilea, him into prison or kill him. If you wish to have grants, if you wish to have Schengen entry, kill. But after they kill me, they will say, yes, we will grant you everything. The only thing you do is secure your borders with Hungary, Bulgaria, and the Black Sea again. The ports. Ulcha, Mangalia, and Konza. Yes. So, let me get back. What was the big fuss? Fuss was that I was punished. Lucifer was punished. I was portrayed as a bad guy. The dragons, the original dragons, because the dragons were original dragons which had 4 wings and 4 legs. Dovahkiin with 2 hands, 2 legs, and wings. Actually, only 3 wings because Dacia removed one of my wing when we battled. It was a glorious battle. I was young, and when I was small. And my mother is an original dragon from Agatha. And the dragons from Agatha and Shambhala are the only dragons which infested and conquered the galaxy and the universe. And they were split into 2 factions, the yellows, and the white are the good guys, the red and the grey are the bad guys, and in between. The blues are the magical stuff. So they were separated and made to fight each other and to kill each other because many people are afraid that if they are reunited they will rule the universe again. Also, the dragons on the surface are derived dragons. They are dragons with legs and 2 wings, and they only see in black and white. That is why all the people are white, black, light grey, and dark grey, because these people have monochrome vision. The people of Agatha and Shambhala have colored vision. Their brains are bigger. And I can, in order to distract dragons, I can say so in order to temporarily make dragons see color. After that they will revert, because their nature is that they only see in black and white, and they only have 2 choices. So, the thing is that it is written in all our books of magic that when the great gold dragon Iskander were killed, Rama, shall rise again from the lake of Belial or Baidara. He will, this can only be done by shouting 30 dragons, 33 black dragon captain name towards them, staying in the circle. Yes, it's not mandatory. Also, you have to throw the golden fleece in the lake, maybe not mandatory also, and shout the name of Iskander times, the full dragon name. So he will raise, and all the dragons shall unite, and they shall save the humanity again, and they shall raise to the star, and they shall conquer the galaxy. And this is the key. So Iskander Verkeg is the key to the ascension, unification of dragons. If this happen, then the dragons of Agartha shall eat and conquer the dragons of Bala, and after that they shall eat and conquer the surface earth. I have seen that come. In order to prevent this, it is my holy duty to raise Iskander Verkeg again, and I can only that by wearing his skin, because his skin is to me was what to say. Also, I wish to say that the of mine is a political trial. There are people who have opinions. People are there who believe that Ardeal should be independent. People now that Ardeal should be part of Romania. People in Moldova who believe Moldova should be independent. People who believe that Moldova should conquer the part of Moldova is in Romania. People in Moldova believe that Moldova should unite with Romania. Why, when people of Moldova wish to judge me, hang me, put me in 30 years or 15 years for the fact that I am denying the independence and integrity of Moldova, I wish to say that Moldova has not integrity, because Moldova belongs to Romania, and I can see in 20 years that they will ask for that of our country. Also, in Romania and Bucharest say that I wish to separate Ardeal, and I am threatening the integrity and independence of Romania. They also, for the fact that many people in all are thinking this manner. And I can see the Romania wishing me to unite Moldova and Romania and separating Ardeal. Yes. I love you, Britney. Goodbye.